want, Joe? Billy, Torrey, out or what's he?
He's out. Yeah.
What's the timeline with him?
It's going to be a little bit of time. He got hit on his nerve, and I think the biggest thing right now is that nerve is not allowing his muscle to kind of function properly. So until he gets that back is when he can go. So really, the only thing right now that he is doing some stuff, but a lot of it's going to be predicated on rest.
And then IL?
So we tried to ramp him up. Had some soreness in his calf. Now we probably I don't. It's not a setback. It's just as they're going through these different hurdles he's got to cross to get to the next step. The sprinting and the running on the treadmill was one of the things that he was doing, and I think after the workout he kind of had felt some soreness back there. So until he gets over that hurdle, we'll have to get to the next one. So my guess is, probably sometime middle of the week, see if he can get back over that hurdle and cross it again. But no setbacks, just hasn't been able to progress any more than what he's been able to do up to this point in time. So not that they're pulling him back, he's still doing stuff on the court, but he's certainly not going to do it at a point where he's getting himself sore.
No late additions or surprises to the injury report?
No, just those two guys right now.
So you obviously gave us your opinion yesterday, and then the organization followed through and announced they're going to retire Derrick's number next season. You spoke your piece yesterday, but now that it's official, what's your reaction to it?
Yeah, I didn't know if it was going to happen. Obviously, like I said, my relationship with Joe Kim, listening to him speak about Derrick as a winner, a competitor, the kind of person he is. He's from Chicago. I'm happy for him that he's being honored, because I think when you're from the outside and you come into a situation that you don't know somebody, I think it speaks volumes when you hear so many positive things, about a guy. I think his performance on the floor speaks for itself while he was here, but just the way people speak about him as a teammate and the guy is pretty impressive. So I'm happy for him.
Billy, what is your team going to do during halftime?
Yeah, our medical guys will get involved.
Are they going to come out and watch all this stuff?
I don't know if they'll do it. We'll do our normal halftime stuff, but I think they'll probably do some things in the locker room to keep them loose. The plan's not to necessarily go out and watch as much as it is to try to get ready for the second half.
Is it a challenge, though, when you got so much extra things going on to keep your team focused and rhythm?
It's different. We talked about it this morning. I wanted to give those guys a heads up so it wasn't like they were walking off the court thinking it was going to be a normal halftime of 15 minutes. So there'll be some different stuff that we'll have to do. The fact that they're not going to be on the court for 25 minutes. And they'll do some things, after we do what we normally do at halftime to get them ready for the start of the second half.
Billy, you have had a lot of guys who've played under you, gone on to have success post-playing career. What has been the difference in your mind and your view of the guys who really excelled post-playing career and the guys who are trying to figure it out?
When you mean post-playing career, what do you mean?
In retirement, like the guys who move on after basketball and figure out what they're going to do after
the
basketball.
The next step, you mean, for their life? I think there's different guys that have had different interests. Some guys have been, tried to get really, really involved in businesses and things like that. I've been around guys that, they get away from the game and they really, really miss the game and they want to find a way to give back in some kind of maybe a player development role or assistant coaching role. Having a relationship with Mo Cheeks and, when he went through retirement and, really thought about what the next step was in his life, he really wanted to coach. So I think every guy's a little bit different, but I'd say the guys that really kind of channel that competitiveness, they find a purpose, of really what they want to do. It doesn't necessarily always need to be in basketball. It can be outside of basketball, but they find that purpose and there's another, part of their life. Because when you think about it, when these guys retire, a lot of times they're relatively young. They're sometimes in their mid to late 30s or early 30s, so they have so much of their life in front of them. And, if they've been good with their money and they've been able to make money, there's security there. And then you can kind of pursue your passion, away from basketball, what you want to do. I've been around guys that have tried to give back to communities and youth centers and have tried to open up things to try to help, kids that maybe need mentoring and things like that. So I've seen a variety of different things. But I think the guys that really do a lot of really positive things are the ones that really have a purpose of what they want to do after they finish playing.